Hey, what's up, everybody? This is State of the Market episode 3 now. And as the topic implies, we're talking about discount points on your mortgage, but we're also talking about a market shift. And if you want to know what a market shift looks like, this is it right here. So I'm going to go over the charts today and show you, what happened in May. Because we just got into June, now we get access to those May charts from the FMLS and Metro Atlanta. And I can go over all that and just show you exactly what is happening. And you might be surprised when we talk about market shift. You might be surprised exactly what is happening right now. So I have Ben Bell with me again. I'm going to add him on. And after I go over the charts, hey, Ben, what's up, man? Ben was gracious enough to join us from the beach. He's on vacation right now, but he's still here to help out. Real estate professionals, we're always working. We never stop. So thank you, Ben.
Absolutely, man. Wouldn't miss it.
We talked about last week, Ben touched on discount points just a little bit. And he and I were talking about that before the episode started, or before we went live here. And it turns out that discount points are actually, they're not really what they sound like. It's not like you're getting a discount off anything. A discount is more or less a fee that the lender is adding to, it may come in, in your, as part of your mortgage payment or in closing cost.
It's mostly closing costs for sure.
In closing costs. So that's money you've got to bring to the table. So Ben's going to get into this in a minute, but what that means is, when you're when you see these advertisements for unbelievably low rates online or on social media ads and things like that, a lot of times what that is you're going to have to buy down that rate to that point with discount points.
That's correct.
So, yeah. And then once again, so the point of this, before we jump right in, and I'm going to get on the charts, the point of this State of the Market is for anyone who has questions about anything going on in the market right now. If you're buying or selling or thinking about doing that, or if you have mortgage questions, that's why Ben is here with us. Please jump on and post a comment. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you are. We're here every Thursday at 4 p.m. Jump on and leave us a comment. And if you post it, we can see it here and we can respond to your question right away. And I hope everybody can hear me okay. So first of all, I should have pulled this up before we started, but I am going to pull up the chart so we can go over that, because like I said, I want to show you guys what a shifting market looks like. Okay. So, here's the screen. Here's that chart. I'm going to go back over to this side actually. So first off, let's look at homes for sale, because that's like, kind of a big indicator of a shifting market is inventory going up, right? So in the month of May, from April to May, the number of homes for sale increased. Okay. Months of supply also increased for the second month in a row. Now, it's not a huge jump, but it did increase. However, closed sales, if you look at this, dropped again. And we know that the reason why that's happening, we know that the reason why we're not seeing as many closed sales and as many pending sales is because there are less buyers in the market right now because of interest rates going up, right?
Could be.
Yeah, could be. That's part of it. And then, so back to this. So closed sales are going down. Months of supply, inventory is going up. Home sales are going up. But this is let's see, new listings. So new listings kind of flat, but it did go up a little bit when, for the most part in the last couple of years, what we've been seeing is the same trend where there are more closed and pending sales than there are new homes, new listings coming on the market. So what's interesting about this, and this is what I was talking about when we're talking about a market shift, and, everybody has been talking about potentially a market crash. You hear that on the news right now a lot. And what we have predicted, and what just about every real estate professional that I hear has predicted, is we are seeing a shift, and we're in a shift right now. We can see it because of these charts, but we're not going to see this crazy switch like in 2008, where we go from a seller's market to a buyer's market all of a sudden, and we have this crazy influx of inventory and home prices go into a ditch. That's not what we're seeing right now. And that is on this chart as predicted. Even though inventory has gone up, closed sales have gone down, sale price still went up. So home values still went up from April to May, from 385,000. This is the metro Atlanta area. So from 385,000 up to 397 as the median sale price. That's for the entire metro area. So, I mean, talk about home values being, if you look back here just, 2 years ago, that it has gone up $130,000 is the median home price has gone up in 2 years. So even though closed sales are down and months of supply and homes on the market have gone up, home prices are still going up. And like I said, that's what I don't think I had the screen shared. Let me put that back on there again. Sorry. This is what I was showing. Okay. So sale price went up from April to May, 385 to 397. You look back here 2 years ago. Back here 2 years ago, April of 2020, it's up $130,000. That's median sale price, up by $130,000 in 2 years. So that has been the prediction. I'm sorry if I lost anybody because I didn't have the chart up. That has been the prediction of every real estate professional, anybody who's in the business that I've talked to or I've read anything from. That has been the prediction that, yes, rising interest rates are going to cause the market to slow down. We're not going to see these 15 and 20 multiple offers on properties. Not all the time. We won't see that many. We'll probably see, on the really big heavy hitters, we'll see 7 or 8 offers in a multiple offer situation. But what we'll also see is home prices and home values continue to rise through the end of this year and into next year. So, by market shift, that's exactly what is happening right now, but home values are still going up. So,
Kyler, when you're talking to, some of your colleagues at Keller and other companies, are they seeing, days on market a little bit longer? Are they not seeing as many multiple offers like we did 6 to 8 months ago? Like what are they seeing as far as days on market and offers?
Yeah. And I'm seeing that myself as well. We're seeing more expired listings, not a ton of expired listings, but we're seeing more expired listings. We're seeing, this is one big indicator of a market shift, is for the last year and a half, maybe even close to 2 years, real estate agents, if you're a listing agent, you didn't have to really get a whole lot of feedback from buyers agents or showing agents on your listing. You list it, you market it properly, you monitor it, and you're going to get an offer on it. You're probably going to get multiple offers on it. Before that time, what would happen is you would list the property, and after every showing, you would call the showing agent or the buyer's agent and get feedback and ask them how the showing went. Well, that's starting to happen again. So that's a big indicator of a market shift, is when we start seeing more of that. If I'm a buyer's agent and I go show a property, then within 5 minutes of me showing the property, after my showing is over, the listing agent's reaching out to get feedback on the property. So that's a big indicator right there of a market shift.
What about open houses? I see definitely a lot more open houses on the weekends where, you really didn't have to do an open house the past, let's say, 2 years.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. We're definitely stepping up the game. My team is on open houses where, like you said before, we kind of left it up to the seller. Do you want to do an open house? We can do one if you
Right.
want to. Now it's like we probably need to do an open house just to make sure. Um,
Yep.
back to what I said before. This is not like a drastic shift right now, but we are having to
Right.
start implementing some of those, extras and add-ons just to ensure that the listings that we have are going to sell in a timely manner, because some of the buyers that were there before are not there anymore.
Right.
I had a listing that went under contract this week, and in a really hot neighborhood in Southwest Atlanta, really good price too, $399, which is like, attracts a lot of buyers typically in that price range. And we
Yep.
got three offers on it. So
It's good.
it's good. A year ago, we probably would have gotten 10, so
Yeah.
that's where it's at. I mean,
If not
especially
more.
yeah, exactly. And, especially in that price range, $399 is that like prime price range where, a lot of those buyers, it's a good price range, but it's also where a lot of those buyers who, you know, their interest rates change. Now they're looking at under $300,000 for their house. And, they're just, a lot of them are saying, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to buy a house right now. I'm just going to wait.
Yeah, which
So,
is we're trying to tell people don't do that, just for affordability, because as you said earlier,
yeah.
if homes continue to appreciate, which I don't think they're going to appreciate at the pace that they have been, I think we'll see probably a little bit less appreciation as far as the speed of the appreciation going up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right there. Definitely going to see some more appreciation. And that's what that's what I've said to anyone that I talk to who is, looking to buy a house, is waiting is not saving you money. Homes are
No, it's
still going to,
costing you money, because even at let's say you bought a house today at $300,000 at 5.5%. But let's say rates go down to 3.5% in 2 years, but that home could be worth $375,000. Well, that really didn't save you a whole lot of money, and you lost out
Mhm.
on that appreciation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, definitely not, not super beneficial to wait, but the point being, some of those buyers that were in that 300 to 400 price range, they were forced out. They didn't really have a
They
choice,
were, they
especially,
were, yeah,
if you're looking for a 3 or 4 bedroom house inside the perimeter, and the interest rate went up so much that now you're looking, your monthly payment is now increased by $1,000, you've got to wait. But like you said, appreciation, homes are going to continue to appreciate. So those who are in the market and can still buy, should. All
100%.
right. Do you want to go over this discount point thing?
I 100% want to, yeah,
Okay.
because I think it's super important, because we're seeing it more and more in the marketplace, and the consumer is not educated on what they're signing as far as a loan estimate, or really what they're even looking at. Because if you get an official loan estimate from a lender, the first thing you see is loan amount and then interest rate. And as a consumer, myself, that's the first thing that you're looking at. So if you see a low interest rate on there, they're like, okay, great. They're already stuck on that, but they don't look at what is it costing you to get that rate.
Hmm.
So as an advisor like myself, that's where I have to step in and say, okay, well, I need to take a look at that loan estimate, because I'm not seeing that in the market right now. That's silly low and just doesn't really make sense. And so you know, I show them, and it's literally in the first section of the second page under loan charges, and it says discount points or origination charges, however that company uses language. They're paying for that rate. So make sure that you understand what you're signing, and is the rate too good to be true? Because at I could be quoting a rate at 5.5, let's just say 5.5%. Okay. Well, you might get a loan estimate from somebody at 5%. And they're like, Ben, why is your rate a half a point higher than XYZ? I'm like, there's no way. I need to take a look at this. Or I need to go online and see what they're quoting, because I guarantee you, there's assumptions in there like, well, this rate includes a point and a half in discount, 1% origination, 740 credit score, 25% down, whatever it is. There's so many things that these lenders, they're getting creative on. It's almost like bait and switch, because if you can't afford that rate, guess what? Guess where your rate's going to go? Probably where mine's at, because I'm not charging any discount points. I will tell you, I always give my buyers an option. I try to give them three options. Well, here's your rate with one discount point. Here's your rate with a half a discount point. Here's your rate that's not costing you a penny. Personally speaking, unless it's a forever home and you don't plan on refinancing, it's a whatever, then yeah, if you want to buy the rate down, you go ahead. But we have to go a step further, and we have to educate the buyers on what is the return on that investment. How long is it going to take you? Because you know, if it's saving you $50 a month, but it costs you $4,000, okay, so what's that? How many months is that until you start seeing a return on that investment? Okay, so the discount point, let's just say it's one discount point. That's not 1%. So it's not like you're going from 5.5% to 4.5%. One discount point might lower your rate from 5.5 to 5.375 to 5.25. It all depends on how those mortgage coupons are trading that day, because there's margin between each eighth. So let's say there's 100 basis points. So wherever that margin's falling that day is where that one discount point would take you. So most lenders have to price their free rate, let's say no discount points, at 100. So to buy one discount point, that means you're going to 99. So where is 99 trading that day on the rate sheet? It could be 5.25. It could be 5.375. It could be 5.125 at 98.5. Well, where you're buying 1.5 in discount points. So it's not, when you say one discount point, it's not actually 1% off of the interest rate. It's 1 point off of margin.
Okay, I got you. I follow most of that. It's still a little
That's a
bit.
lot. It's a lot.
The basis points are a little over my head. But as far as like downsides to the discount points, and like I said at the very beginning, a discount point, it sounds like, is not a discount. It's basically a fee, right? It's basically a fee.
It is a fee to discount your rate.
It's a fee to discount your rate, right? So you gotta pay for it, right? So you can't really put, or can you put like a number, like, okay, if I wanted to buy my rate down by an eighth, it's going to cost me $2,000, or can you put a number on, or estimate on how much that's going to cost?
Not really, not until you actually look at a rate sheet to see what that margin is between each eighth.
Okay. And that varies day by day.
It does. It all depends on how how everything's being traded on the secondary market. Rates change. The past 2 years, rates have changed almost every hour. It's just been a roller coaster where we're really having to pay attention to the bond market and secondary markets, and we're getting rate alerts all the time on, hey, here's what the market, like yesterday we got an alert to lock.
Really?
The market was going crazy. Yeah, the market was going crazy. And so, I subscribe to a company that sends text messages out when it starts getting a little funny out there. So just so I can go in and lock my people if I have anybody out there floating, or if I need to go take a peek at that market.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're shopping for a home, and you haven't been pre-approved yet, or even if you have by somebody else, make sure you get pre-approved by Ben, or talk to Ben, because like he just said, he's going to lock you in at the best rate possible.
But and everybody's situation is different, right? Mm-hmm. It might be Forever Home. It might be a 15-year mortgage where they want to buy down to discount points because they know that they're going to see a return on that investment in 40 months. Okay,
Mhm.
great. So at, month 41 and beyond, they win. You know, what we don't want to do is we don't want to sell you discount points if if which I know it's really hard to tell, but if you're going to move before you start seeing a return on your investment, especially in today's market where I think that we know, again, I'm going to say it again. I think that we know that interest rates are going to come back down.
Mhm.
So if so in 18 months, if we go from 5.5% to 3.5%, why did we sell you a discount point?
Right.
Because
That's
you're not gonna see a return on your investment to save, whatever the dollar figure is each month.
mhm.
It doesn't make sense. And so that's where, if I can encourage anybody to, speak to a professional who does this all day, every day. I don't care if it's me. I would love for it to be me, but there's plenty of us out there. Um, just make sure that you're talking to a true advisor who's going to lead you in the right direction. And that's the most important part.
Right.
You don't need to be working with a call center. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean, in my experience, in all the loans I've done, that's like the biggest benefit of working with somebody local and somebody that I know, like you is, I have a client under contract with Quicken right now, and the people who are staying in touch with me, or the one person who has called me about her file, isn't her loan officer. It's somebody who I can tell doesn't really know how to answer any of the questions that I have about her loan. They're just gathering information from me. So,
Yeah,
information that the loan officer really should already have. So,
correct.
um,
Yeah.
so on the discount point thing, we're talking about if somebody sees a rate, an advertised rate from, one of these bigger banks or Quicken or something like that, and the rate is significantly lower than what we know, like the average rate to be right now. They're going to get that rate by paying. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars in closing costs, right?
Thousands, 100%. And even if they see something online, I guarantee you, if they scroll to the bottom of the page, there's some fine print that says, the above rates are at 740 credit score, putting 25% down with 1% origination and 1.5 in discount points or whatever it is. Like, they have to spell it out. You can't just advertise a rate without telling you how they got that rate.
Yeah, and they have to qualify for it too, right? I mean,
100%. Yeah. I mean,
they have to
and
qualify to be able to get the discount points. Is that right?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, you could be buying a condo. Well, a condo has a different rate than a single family home.
Mhm.
Condos are always 25 basis points higher in rate than a single family home.
Don't knock your computer over.
I almost did. So, I mean, it's just, again,
That's well,
we
that's
have to look at
interesting.
all the facts.
Yeah, that's very interesting to know. What did you say? How much is the difference between a condo and a single family home?
It's about 25 basis points, or if not higher, depending on your credit score.
Okay. Now, it might not be next week, but eventually we're going to have to do an episode just on basis points, or at least,
Seriously.
take a
Well,
minute to cover what that is.
and really, so there's 100 basis points between each eighth. Let's just say it's a scale of 100 basis points.
Okay. Okay.
And it's
Okay.
just it's
Gotcha.
just a it's just a yeah, it's just a metrics of on how bonds are traded.
Okay. Okay.
It would make a lot more sense, and maybe down the road I can actually prepare a chart showing you exactly what I'm talking about. I just can't do that right now, but
Yeah.
definitely if,
You're
if
on
I could show
vacation.
you,
Yeah.
but yeah, well, yeah, but I could definitely show you on how we price a loan, and you can really see what it actually cost to get to buy down a rate, and it would make a
Okay.
lot more sense.
Yeah.
And if
We'll do
anybody's
that.
if anybody's watching this, on live or on replay, you know, my contact information will come up at the end of this, and call me, text me, and I will be 100% honest with you, and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about, and I'll send you, any information that you might need.
Absolutely. And I can definitely vouch for that. Ben knows, like, anybody that I talk to that has a question about mortgages, I always send them to Ben. And he knows, like, a lot of the people that I send to him are not necessarily looking to buy a house right now. They just have
Got it.
questions about mortgages, and Ben is always willing to stay on the phone for 15, 20 minutes, however long it is, and just talk about that stuff and talk about that person's specific needs. We're not talking about a phone call with a loan officer to get a pre-approval or to give them any of your information or pull your credit. He's just going to give you the knowledge. So
100%. I mean,
I will put up Ben's information.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about education at the end of the day. I mean, that's all I care about is education. And I, one of my main mottos is relationships over transactions. So I would rather have that relationship, um, so they understand exactly what they're doing and build build trust. It's all about trust.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that, Ben. Thank you to
Yeah,
everyone
man.
who watched. And before we go, I'm going to pull up the chart one more time. And I want you guys to know that anyone who is on the email list, and if you're not on the email list, please comment, leave your email address, or you can send me a DM, or you can email me, which I'll put that up at the end too. I'm going to send like screenshots of all of these charts, the larger versions of these charts, out in my weekly email next Tuesday. So you'll get that. But if you weren't watching at the beginning, we went over this. We went over months of supply in May went up. Homes for sale. So that's the same as months of supply, basically. How many homes are on the market also went up. Closed sales went down, but sale price still continues to climb. Still went up pretty significantly. Ben and I were saying, and we've gone over in the video, still expected, even though we're going to see some slowdown as interest rates go up, more inventory will come on the market, less buyers in the market. We're going to see some slowdown, but we still expect to see appreciation in home value through the end of this year into next year. So that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you here next Thursday at 4. Ben, thank you so much for being with me.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Enjoy. You're coming back Saturday, right?
Saturday. Yep. Come back Saturday. And then we have State of the Market next Thursday. And then we're doing the Inman Park Beer Festival on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just called Summer Beer Fest. I think
is that what it is?
I saw
Okay.
a thing today. But yeah, that's a good point. Anyone who wants to come hang out with us and have a good time, I think tickets are $30 or $35. It's in the Old Fourth Ward. I think it's called Summer Beer Fest. It's on Saturday. It's on Saturday, June 11th. And we're going to have koozies to give out. We also have 4 Braves tickets. And I'm pretty sure it's a shaded section. So if you're available, come out and hang out with us that day. It's from 4 to 8, and I'll post that on my Instagram as well. So
yeah, anyway, I'm sure we'll talk about it again next week.
Absolutely, because I'm gonna need your help unloading.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
See you, man.